You never been swimming in condensed milk before? Hello everyone.
Hi.
Right, Mrs. B?
Yes.
Today we're doing another cheap
versus steep.
You got to feel the weight of that in comparison.
Oh my goodness, that's heavy.
We're doing cheap versus steep Millionaire shortbread today, which turns out Millionaire shortbread is one of Mrs. B's favourite things.
I really like it.
I did not know that. I know the year you're born. I know your eye colour. I know you like pickled onions.
Yeah.
Can you describe Millionaire shortbread for people that might not know what Millionaire shortbread is?
Oh, so it's bottom layer shortbread, middle layer caramel, and top layer chocolate.
Oh my gosh, it's incredible. And for me, the irony in that it's called Millionaire shortbread and the cheap one, I always want the cheap to win.
I think the steep is going to be rich.
Yeah. So I've gone and got the cheapest ingredients I can from the cheap supermarket and the most expensive, extravagant ones I could from the expensive supermarket in a battle to see. And I genuinely think, I know you're saying about it being rich, I think that too. And it's quite minimal ingredients. There's only a few key factors that could tweak this. I think for the first time ever, the cheap could win.
Okay.
Like everything,
Yeah.
It won't matter. So, should we get going?
Yes.
All right, first thing, we're making a shortbread. So we've got 250 grams of plain flour. This is the cheap one, first of all. 1.5 kilos, you get 79p.
79p.
But just for this recipe, 13p is needed, okay? So you get a lot of flour left over. Now, the expensive equivalent was actually by a well-known brand. There goes that brand deal. They got in touch before as well. But this is plain pre-sieved flour, and for a kilo, that's £1.95 or 49p. Yeah.
That's a massive difference. It does come in a fancy box with a lid and not a paper bag.
It does. All right, so that is the steep flour, and we're just passing cheap flour through. We can sieve it ourselves and maybe save some money. All right, now sugar, the cheap 75 grams, £1.45 for a 1 kilo bag. For this recipe, that's only 10 pence of the sugar. Whereas the steep was £1.60 for 500 grams. So that's £3.20 for the equivalent amount. For this recipe alone, you're paying 14 pence more for 75 grams.
Wow.
By buying this sustainably sourced sugar, you are supporting small-scale sugarcane farmers. So I quite like that, actually. Looks the same.
It does.
Okay. All right, so when it comes to the butter, we have got this West Country. We're from the West Country, the best place in the world, West Country. Isn't it?
We are.
We are. That is West Country. Do we think we have accents?
I don't.
Let us know, that would be really interesting. So this is West Country salted butter, okay? 250 grams, we need the lot for this recipe. The cheap block, £1.79, okay? Now this is West Country organic butter, so it might, and it doesn't tell me on the packaging, be from the same place. But it is unsalted. But for that block, £3.25. You're actually paying £1.46 more if you wanted the organic butter. Again, big calls to make, but will they make a difference? And it looks very, very similar.
Sometimes you've used butter before and it's been like really a lot brighter in colour, hasn't it?
Yeah, folks, if you haven't seen the cheap versus steep playlist, do check it out after this video. There is some butter I've used once or twice where it's like in this like gold tube. It looks like something from the Willy Wonka factory. I could have got that today and it would have been slightly more expensive, but I wanted to just go complete line up. All right, so here we go. We probably should have mixed that sugar together with the flour, but hey ho, it's all going to get mixed anyway. So this is the knee step that I hate. Remember, I've got a gadget for that. But we just work the fat in and then we knead it into basically the shortbread. But what I hate is when you've got to like really, that makes me feel all, does that not make you feel like, ugh?
No.
I
don't think they're all
I hate that feeling so much. Why do I hate it? It's like someone's tickling me. And not in a good way. Got a few indentations with my finger there, but that'll all get masked by the caramel. 20 minutes. On that topic, let's start going. We've got 2 saucepans, both with the remaining butter in that we've talked about already. And now we need some condensed milk. So we have got 2 identical tins there. The recipe for the Millionaire shortbread calls for 397 grams, which is like the stereotypical size of a tin of condensed milk. I don't know does anyone know why that is? So the cheap tin, 99p. £1.95 for this, £1.95.
Wow.
For the same thing, potentially. So this is where I'm like, will this make a difference? That is a 96 pence difference, and you need the whole tin. Like, what's it gonna do?
I don't know, but this one says it's got whole milk, sugar, and calcium chloride.
Ingredients, whole milk and sugar. What's calcium chloride?
So apparently it's a stabiliser.
Isn't that what you put in a swimming pool? But that is, you're literally paying double. I feel like it should be slightly darker in colour, but maybe not. That is identical. If anything, yours is slightly more paler.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yours looks darker.
That'll be the chlorine. Come on guys, look. This is why I was so keen to do this one. Like, this is looking identical. Like, in the past when we've done cheap versus steep recipes, it's like there's a clear difference.
Yeah. So far, it's all looked exactly the same.
But that might be about to change.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I could only get light brown sugar from the cheap supermarket. Oh, is the shortbread done?
It is.
Yeah, light brown sugar from the budget, but we got the light muscovado. Cheap light brown sugar, £1.99 for a kilo.
Okay.
Or for this recipe, 19p. The light muscovado for 500 grams is £1.95, okay? So that's pretty much double.
Yeah.
So you're paying 40p for this recipe. It's gonna come down to the quality, isn't it? The chlorine. This is exciting. Why do I get so excited by this?
Chloride.
You never been swimming in condensed milk before? Folks, this is gonna be really hard to show, but cheap, steep, okay? Yeah. This one does look slightly darker, doesn't it?
It does.
Right, we're gonna warm this up. I like to let Mrs. B have the more elegant ingredients so that just for 5 minutes she can have a posh lifestyle. Shall we tip and show? Is there a colour there?
Yeah, look.
There is, isn't there?
There is, massive.
Cheap, steep. How is that going to affect the taste though? That's the most important thing. All right, so here is the cheap caramel.
Oh wow, it looks pretty much the same colour as the shortbread.
It does, doesn't it? Oh wow, that is darker. Oh my goodness. So the steep shortbread was still slightly warm, so we could still pour that on. It's just going to take a little while to cool to room temperature, which we can then stick in the fridge. But that is where this one is going right now. The final layer, chocolate. You have got there 200 grams of milk chocolate. That is a 99p bar.
Bargain.
The most expensive ones were this company called Millionaire, which I think is a French company that apparently is like world renowned with many accolades and awards. I've never actually, oh no, I recognise the logo actually.
I do.
For 100 grams of this in a bag like this, we needed 200, so £2.40 per bag.
Per bag?
Yeah.
For that?
Yeah. £4.80 for 200 grams of chocolate. £4.80!
Oh my god, I cannot believe that.
Versus 99p. You're paying £3.81 more for the chocolate layer.
I can't believe that.
So that is a hell of a difference. 4.8 times more than that. I mean, it looks like chocolate. It is chocolate, but maybe slightly darker. All right, this is the cheap. We'll just pour that on.
That looks good.
So it's going to go back in the fridge and we'll do the same with the steep chocolate, which is a lot more rigid. Look, it's not as flexible. Oh, look at that though.
That's spreading nicely.
Oh, that looks luxurious. It's actually really interesting. I was just reading the ingredient comparison and I'm not going to go through all the emulsifiers and all that stuff, but quite similar. But the thing that stood out, they both got vanilla extract in. I've never known that before. Wow. Cheap, steep. And there is a difference in colour for sure, isn't there? Right, let's just slice a couple of squares up.
Yep.
And I think we'll both blindfold each other in terms and swap around and just do which one's which. Cheap.
Cheap. That looks good.
It's quite a wedge of biscuit though, isn't it? But
yeah.
That was me. That was me.
But look, that's how it's meant to be.
Oh yeah, that is the steep. Is it me or does that look absolutely identical? This is a steep,
yeah,
and that's the cheap. There is not much difference at all there, is there? Okay, we've cut them up. Mrs. B's blindfolded. Cheap, steep. I'm going to give her one of these now whilst I talk through some facts. She doesn't know which one I'm going to give her first, so there you go, mate. Okay?
Thank you.
To conclude though, the total shop was £8 for the cheap, £15.50 for the steep. But the actual total just to make the recipe, cheap was £4.19 and the steep £11.13. So you save £6.94 just for this batch. So you could make another one that's roughly 2.8 times more for this recipe. This is nuts. Is that good? So here's the other one. The tension is unbearable. Is there a preference?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, there is. The first one.
You prefer the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, had more flavour in a way. It's weird.
But you like both, right? Okay. Wow, it's heavy, isn't it? Well, that's nice. The dominant thing in that is the chocolate, though. I'm tasting really sugary chocolate, if anything. But I'm getting the caramel, I'm getting a nice even biscuit. That's all right. Just felt like you put a weight on my hand. Is that upside down? Oh, there we go. You can feel the chocolate. All right, which one was that one?
That was the steep.
Was it?
Which one did you give me first?
The cheap.
Did you?
Yeah, you liked the cheap.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I did.
And I liked the steep. The caramel in that is amazing.
I couldn't really taste it though.
It's
Weird.
But maybe just because we've got a bit bigger wedge of caramel in that second one, it was like a little bit more, but it seemed to be a bit more depth to it.
Do you think? I don't know.
Let me try another cheap then. See, when you go back to it, that's more even. That just had this huge band of caramel in it. It was just like, oh yeah. I like them both, which I think to me is kind of like the whole point of it. If it doesn't matter, they're both Millionaire shortbreads at the end of the day. That's so interesting with the blindfold on. I like the steep and you like the cheap. It's normally the other way around. It's like a vanilla-ness. I know vanilla's been the key, but there's vanilla more impact in that steep. I don't know why.
I think you're right though. The chocolate does take over on the cheap.
So in a strange way, if you did want to do a perfect combo, cheap chocolate, that's the most expensive thing that we used. With the more branded caramel and everything, the biscuit is irrelevant, I think. There's no difference in that at all.
No.
So that's what you should do for the perfect one. But that's amazing. I think cheap is the winner though, yeah.
I do.
Like, it doesn't matter, like they're so close. Well, I really enjoyed this. I mean, I love all the cheap versus steep. Don't forget to check out the playlist. Any ideas, do let us know down below. Thanks to the names on the screen right now, wherever they are, on Patreon for supporting the channel, keeping it going, helping pay for the ingredients and all the running costs. Massively appreciate it. And of course, we've got our Patreon Discord if you want to check that out. Check out the video down below and consider subscribing if you wish. See you later.